So confused. Huh? Interesting. Okay, well, let's get this one taken care of because so confused. Hello, Ace. Hello, Victor. No, not terribly much, but I make do with what I got. How you guys doing today? You know, that reminds me, I need to order Series X screws. No, I didn't say Siri. This says this was supposed to be Series X screws. That's not Series X screws. Screws are getting mixed up. Alright, have fun, Ace. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna make sure that the Xbox is happy. Because there's one screw that is hidden, isn't there? Oh yeah, that's right. I was supposed to... Okay. Hey, Ruggers. And how in the hell are you, good sir? Nah. Well, that's good. I'm so confused with this repair. Whatever. This repair is marked as having been completed like 3 years ago and shipped back already, and the tracking number says it was delivered, but the serial number is sitting right here. And there's no note from the customer saying that like I sent them a wrong console. So I have to assume that this was broken again, brought back in, and not properly put back into my system. No, I'm gonna check something real quick. Damn. Thought that would have worked. But the weird part is, it's got factory thermal paste on it too. So, it's making no sense. But I'm just gonna fix it. And then reach out to the customer tomorrow and be like, hey, so I got this console here. It says you already have it, but now it's back in my possession somehow. You want to come explain this to me and come pick this up? Because I'm very meticulous about my process that nothing gets invoiced until I send a video of it working. So why this would have been invoiced and shipped without that, I have no clue. Because it wouldn't. But you know what? Stuff happens. It's always possible that something got overlooked. You finally get the stuff figured out with your website, Ruggies? Awesome. Glad to hear that. Alright. Alright, before I continue this, I want to check this. Oh. Yep. Okay, well. That's weird. You know what? I don't have time to mess with that. Let's continue with what I was doing. I don't think that's soldered down all the way, but we're gonna find out. Hey, what up, Nick? Haven't seen you up in here for a while. There we go. Yeah, just as I thought, the left side did not soldered down. None of those soldered down. Alright, let's fix that. Okay, since the majority of those pinned down, we're just gonna quick go over again for the just benefit of the doubt for those few that didn't. And I did not float the ESD IC, nor did I crack it, it looks like. Okay, so... See, I kind of wish that these had like a fourth setting. Because I'm finding I'm constantly having to update them. So let's make this 400 at 50%. Boost that one up to 450. about that in a few minutes. Okay, well. Hey, Makina, how you doing? Hey, Makina, why don't you try out that command you set up before I demodded you? I can't complain. Glad you're doing good. Oh, it's not working. Give me a sec. It didn't work. The heck? The heckin'? Did I forget something? I think I forgot something. Give me a sec. Oh, by the way, it's negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit here. Okay, try again. Thank you. Rusty taught me how to get it set up, and then while he was teaching me, I figured out how to do it that way, which apparently he didn't know about. So it was kind of funny because he taught me how to do it, and then immediately right after I taught him how to do, or how to add stuff the way that I added it. You guys kept telling me to use StreamerBot, and then he's like, hey, hop on a video call with me, I'll show you how to set it up. It's like, yeah, okay. Thanks. Alright, so this should work just fine, I hope. Not wrong or wrong, one of these days I gotta hop on with Ace and Booter and find out how each of them do their commands. Because Rusty told me Ace uses an HDMI switch. And I'm curious how Booter does his. But I've also been delaying doing commands because I've just been extremely busy and late on my streams. That's like, I don't want to spend an hour figuring out commands. So what did I do? I spent an hour figuring out commands and then another hour just BSing with Rusty. Okay, so I'm really hoping that this works after this, because this repair is kind of confusing to me, but man, my wrist hurts. Now, unlike some people, I am not going to go overboard with the commands. The heck? Something's disconnecting inside of my driver here. Note to self, do not use electric screwdrivers as a hammer. Even if they look robust, they do not like it. Hey, hot cows. And how are you doing? Makina is already here. Why are you trying to resummon him? Okay, now I need to find out where I can get a Series X collar. I gotta order a Series X collar. I am alive. There's not much I can complain about. It would do me no good in doing so. I don't want 4 volts, I want 8 volts. I like the power of my 8 volt. You're showing your daughter? Hey, 8-bit. Wait, is 8-bit here? 8-bit is here. Hey, 8-bit. Your daughter liked it, I assume? So it doesn't come up over my speakers. And I'm not paying attention right now. No. Guess I could always work on repairing it. Oh yeah. I also need... Why do people want so much money for a set of screws, man? Okay, I guess I'll have to look later, because that's just bonkers. I don't mean the Disney cartoon. Yeah, except I used to be able to get screws relatively cheap, to the point where it was like, okay, spending $20 for the full entire set of screws was nothing big if I needed it. You know, because it was like I could buy them for like $16 if I bought like 20 sets. Now people want like $40 for a set of screws, and it's like, okay, you know what? I'm getting to the point where I need a machine, a metal screw making machine, to just be able to get screws available, because this is becoming a joke. Alright, so there was no wireless card in here or anything like that. I'm just going to make sure that this works, because I'm going to wind up replacing probably the shell, and since this is missing components, I'm going to have to replace those. Which means I probably shouldn't have done this repair right now, but I'm kind of curious to find out why the repair is marked done when it clearly is still sitting here. I think it came back. Hold your beer. I don't have a beer. Just pretend this is your beer. Hey Sean, how you doing, Mr. Causeway? Well, I'm glad you're doing good. Okay, so it's powering on. This disk drive's not beeping though, which has me concerned. Okay, I mean the disk drive activates. Button does eject. Yeah, and it reads the disk. Okay, looks like I am going on an iFixit order. Because even though they are more expensive than a lot of my other stuff, they're the only ones with Series X shells right now. Go away, Siri. What? No. Don't, no. God damn it. Okay, well, we're gonna find out how understanding my customers are in the morning, I guess. Because for some reason my Siri just decided to send a No, go away, Siri. Decided to send a customer a text that said right now at 11:59, a minute before midnight. So I'm gonna have to, like, as soon as I open up tomorrow, be like, hey, I apologize, I don't know what happened. It seems that my text system decided it wanted to talk to you. I don't know why. I swear I gotta get a different way to text customers. Okay, so that Series X is 110% working. I just need to quick do this before I forget. I'm hoping that's all, man. It's awkward because the customer that it decided to text is a woman. So, me being a dude, just texted a woman a minute before midnight, right now. And my brain's just like... And it's not an iPhone that it went to either, so I can't just quick undo send. So I don't know why my phone decided it wants me to die. But it seems that's what it wants. I don't want to do a verification code. Seven four one 102. I am not meeting anyone at 1 by 1 in the morning, hot cows. Booty calls are aggressive in Alaska. Dude, I don't have anyone I could booty call, like... If I could do that, that would be awesome. Just like... Do, now. Ding ding, your booty call's here. Wait, what? Alright guys, I will be right back. So... And I'm back. Mwahaha! Ooh, elevator music renditions of video game themes. What will we have to do to make a video game theme into elevator music? We'd have to make it instrumental first. Okay. Quick, I fix it. Now that I'm feeling a little bit better. Sorry, I drank water and got sick. Alright, one sec. $150 for the parts to refurbish the Series X. And that's not even including like screws or anything. Jeez. Okay. Mobile Centrics. Really makes you wonder if it's worthwhile. Oh yeah, I had to check if I had B150 lasers. What are these? These are SFHD63. Not B150s. What about these? These are REF 3355s, and I gotta mark my drawers. Those are GameCube lasers, PSP, PS3. Guess I have to order B150 lasers. Booster IC chip. Wait a minute. The new lo-fi. Booster IC chip. Is that the ESD IC? No, those are two different ICs. No. That's U21. That's the... Is that the one I think it is? That is. That's the one that I needed. $33. I hate my life. I've got like $5,000 of parts I need to order. It's the one for the Series X. The glass IC that everyone hates doing. The one that I just paid Uber for his flex cable replacements. And Mobile Centrics has them in stock. It's okay. The booster IC flex cable will come in handy anyway. Speaking of, let's see if Royal Mail has an update for me. Thank you. Damn. No update. Thank you to both Makina and 8-Bit. It's just been so long since I've seen a company have one in stock that it's like, wait a minute, is this the one I'm thinking it is? It's always one of those awkward things where you're just like, wait a minute, this is. I need this. Fuck. Which is funny. I drink water, I get sick. I drink soda, I don't get sick. The world is a screwed up place. Okay. Oh yeah, big time. I just wish I could get parts consoles for cheap enough. You know, up here, if I find one on Marketplace, you know, people want like $200 and $300 for their dead console, and it's like, that's not cheap enough for me to purchase as a dead console. That's something I'd have to purchase with the intent to fix it so I can put it back up for sale. You know, where people are getting these $150, you know, full PS5s and Series X's that have like a dead APU or something. It's like, can someone send me the link? It's okay, Makina, you tried. I wound up answering my question shortly after I stated it. So, one of those things. Alright, time to find out if this controller has... Oh shoot, I gotta text AKNS and find out when I can buy PS5 sticks from him, because I need more. I also have to call another distributor tomorrow about the progress report on getting some shells produced. Man, there's a lot of stuff I have to remember to do. And what sucks is, like, I don't start reaching out to companies until after I open up, which is something I probably should stop doing, because, like, I will forget, because customers will come in and they'll talk to me, they'll, you know, look around, ask for stuff, you know, perfectly normal things that customers will do. And then by the time I remember to call the business that I needed to call, it's like 1 o'clock my time, but then that's like 5 o'clock their time, and they're already going home, and it's like, shit, I guess I'll have to try again tomorrow. Alright, drift guard. I'm trying to use drift guard more often, so that way it's one of those ones that's just at a constant here. Although I don't know which one I prefer using, if I prefer using drift guard or if I prefer using DualShock calibration GUI. I kind of wish I could figure out how to do the programming behind things like drift guard and that, so that way I could just do my own instead of waiting for them to make continuations or add-ons. I guess that's something that in the next year or something I should look into more, because I'm finally getting back into programming, but like the programming I'm doing is completely different from what would be needed to do that. So, I don't know if I'd be able to do it properly or not. But I never know until I look into it. Like, I thought I would never code again. And I finally said, you know what? I'm sick and tired of listening to everyone else telling me that this can't be done because of one reason or another. So now every night I spend an hour coding just to get back into the groove of it so I can prove them wrong and get the stuff that I want out there. Because why not? You know, one of the things that I really like that Rossman constantly is saying is, you know, be the change that you want to see in your corner of the world. So I figure let's adapt that mindset to a whole bunch of stuff. You know, why do I have to wait for another company to ask the company I'm using for something when I could just do it myself? And if I do it myself, I could provide it as a thing to other companies who are also probably waiting for it. Because one of the things I realized in life, you are almost never the first one to come up with an idea. There's almost guaranteed at least one other person out there in the world who also came up with the same idea. In reality, there's probably 10 other people out there who have come up with the same exact idea as you. It's just which of the 11 or 12 of you that came up with that idea at the same sort of time can implement it first. And even if someone else does implement it first, who's to say you can't also implement it? You know, just because something already exists doesn't mean that you can't also build it. If that were true, then everything would be linear. There'd be one grading company, there'd be one video game console company, there'd be one style of game, one game per style. Welcome to China. Ah, yes, thank you. No, welcome to China. I'd love to be able to talk to someone in China to have them do some stuff for me, but that is quite a bit of that's something I'm not really sure how to get into. I have to talk to companies here in the US to try to figure it out. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even remember how I managed to get in contact with AKNS. I can't honestly tell you how I remember I wound up doing it, but I just order my joysticks straight from him because buying it straight from him wholesale is a hell of a lot cheaper than buying them off of Amazon or through his store on the website, because he's got a retail store now. And it's like, you know what? Might as well just buy them here. And the cool part is he does have some Gillikit stuff for wholesale as well. So I can technically get some Gillikit stuff as well. Although I'm not too great of a fan of Gillikit, even though they're made in the same factory. It seems the sticks I get from AKNS tend to be better than the ones that come from Gillikit. I don't know why. I understand they're from the same factory, because that's what AKNS told me, is literally Hall Pie and Gillikit are from the same factory, except Hall Pie, which is the brand that AKNS uses, will do better quality checks than Gillikit. That's what I've been told. And it seems accurate, because the ones I got from Gillikit, like, I've had issues with the Switch joysticks from Gillikit, but every single one I've gotten from AK Nest has worked out wonderfully. Now, is it possible because of the fact at the time I was buying them from GillyKit, they were Hall Effect, and Hall Effect was actually the issue, not the brand itself, and I've only ever bought TMR from AK Nest? You know, that could be a thing. Because I know a lot of people that will defend GillyKit like no tomorrow. It's like, that's cool and all, but you know, I've spent too much time inside of the gaming industry for me to defend any one company. Everyone has their pros and cons. You know, GillyKit has TMR sticks with the replaceable caps, so I can do color accurate TMR upgrades on Switch lights, because you get the limited edition ones, or they have white caps. Can't use the TMRs from AKS because he only has black caps. Hey Sean, put an exclamation mark in front of one of those moves. There you go, 8-bit. Oh, I literally forgot to do one. There we go. That's like, I also want to get one of those solder pots, because I think it would be useful that all this like solder that the Moon Machine grabs, you know, these chunks of solder here, they can't really be used, but I hate the idea of discarding them. But every now and then I wind up with something that's like, oh hey, look, let me try to dip this wire. Oh wait, I don't have anything to dip the wire with. Okay, let me put a bunch of flux on it, try to clip it, and then coat it in solder. But if I had a solder pot, then I would just toss all this into the solder pot, turn it on when I need it, and then dip the wire. Time to get a batch of TMRs. Pro side. Switch Pro TMRs are the same TMR sticks as PS5 TMRs. Downside, the caps are not. Downside, when you clean the holes so well that it actually becomes a little bit tedious to solder new ones in place, because there's nothing to hold them there. And I would love to get one of those tips that have the controller stuff already done for it, but I've had quite a few people tell me that those actually don't work as well as they're made out to work. So I don't know if I want to try them or not. Okay, you know what? We're gonna just... one at a time instead of slotting both of them. Anchor this side, anchor that side. Hey, 8-Bit, do you know how to contact people in China to get stuff produced? And don't say AliExpress. Also, Ruggies, if you happen to still be in chat, I need to... Nope. Damn. You made your comment, man. I thought you knew. Oh, that makes sense. That reminds me, I gotta text Lee and find out what his licensing on those flex cables are. See, I wish China would copy certain things that I want done. Like, I want TMR sticks for 360. There's really nothing stopping a TMR stick from being produced, except for companies like Hallpie that are like, oh yeah, no, we don't have enough demand for them. It's like, dude, 360 sticks are starting to drift to the point where someone added 360 calibration to software. If someone made software to calibrate 360 sticks, you can make a demand for TMR sticks with 360 controllers. I mean, those things are already $40 a piece, so, you know, maybe it's not demand for a repair service, but can you imagine how many extra 360s you could sell if, as a business, if you had controllers that had TMR sticks installed? Because then you can upsell it. Hey, even if you've never had stick drift when you played Xbox 360, these controllers are now getting, you know, fairly old. You know, they're getting up there in age, so they are starting to drift. But hey, from us, all of our sticks are TMR, which is a newer technology stick that allows for stick drift to be very unlikely to ever happen. Because the way that it's designed, you just don't really get stick drift. And then when they ask for more details, you have like this little TMR stick pamphlet. You know, like how they used to have pamphlets at like Office Depot about the various printers and why this printer is better than the other guys. And just like have a pamphlet with TMR sticks. And it's like what TMR provides over Hall effect or analog. And like one section is just like a breakdown of like how analog sticks cause drift because of the wear of their internal parts. How TMR prevents that from using electromagnetic tunneling resistors. How Hall effect uses the similar type of technology, but due to certain restrictions with Hall effect, it's not as effective as TMR. You know, now I want to go make one of those pamphlets. You know, TMR versus Hall effect versus analog. See, 8-Bit, you're correct on that point, except, at least up here, I can get people sold on something because I have anti-drift sticks inside of the controller. Because even if they don't know what stick drift is, almost every single customer that has come in to buy a controller from my family's store has come in for the reason of they just threw away a controller that the character just moved on its own. They don't bother to check if it's within the 1-year manufacturer's warranty. They just throw it away. And then they come to a used game store looking for a cheaper one because they just threw away their $70 controller. So being able to be like, oh dude, we fixed that here, and the ones that we do fix don't come into that issue again, actually winds up being a pretty good selling point. Because a lot of consumers, it seems, up here at least, don't actually pay attention to the battery life. Like, they'll complain about going through AA batteries, a crap ton of AA batteries in a week. But they won't actually understand that, because of the technology inside, it's actually costing this much because of that for your AA's. So I can actually get them better on the defects than I can the power consumption. But to everyone else, I understand in the lower 48, you get a lot more people that don't comprehend the other aspects, so getting them on power consumption is great. Which is why I want to make one of those brochure pamphlets, just a trifold brochure explaining all that stuff. Actually, Makina, I don't think that's a problem. I still get people asking me for 360 controllers. And they ask me for PS3 controllers. Can you get third-party controllers that are pretty good quality for a cheaper price? Sure. I sell third-party controllers to customers that are $30 for a brand new controller. And it's wireless. Some people say that's a good deal and they want it. Other people are like, it's okay. I don't mind paying $40 for a used controller that you've tested and cleaned and made sure works. Like, I can wait for that. And don't get me wrong, I understand that I am one store in one market. But, like, at the same token, if I have that here, I am one video game store in the United States. I mean, you're talking 50 states. There's bound to be at least one other game store that could upsell their older consoles way better if they had the TMR sticks to, upsell to the customer. I'm sure Booter would have no problem selling he made comments on his streams that, now that the kid that's working for him, Charlie? I think it's Charlie. I just keep referring to him as Child. Is working for him and he's rebuilding 360s. They're selling more 360s. Which sounds kind of funny because obviously if you have 360s for sale, you could sell them better, but kind of the goofy part about that. Charlie? Oh yeah. Yeah, see,